Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA,
where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. And in case you forgot, where's the book?
How can you forget? Well, you're on the road. We give you the dispensation. You don't have the book. I got hundreds of copies right over here.
There we go.
Listen, I wrote a book about it. You're absolutely fucking amazing exactly as you are. I'm going to tell you that every day because the world tells you differently, or you actually tell yourself differently. And, you know, the daily love is going to be a part of explaining how that happens. But you're absolutely amazing exactly as you are. And when you get that, your whole world transforms. So
it certainly does. So here we are. We are a green nurse on the go. So how fun is that? Like on the road. You've been on the road forever, but I'm stepping out of my comfort zone.
You know, I'm getting ready. I'm getting fired up. You know, I'm thinking
getting fired up.
Second vaccine's coming in a few weeks. Going to start to just move around. You know, I love to travel. Really, seriously. I have it in my blood. I like to move around. And yeah.
Well, it's funny. I like to travel once I'm out of the house. So that's the key for me. Is
getting out. Morning, Glenn.
Getting out.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Getting out of the house sometimes. Getting out of the routine, right?
Getting out of the routine and, you know, having that self-talk and confidence and be bold, right? Life is good.
Yeah. So a little bit of daily love on Monday, March 22nd, 2021. Here we go.
The only one you're going to have.
Today, that's right. It's the only one we have. Today, I pulled from Landmark Insights book 4, Being Up to Something. And today's daily love was about the word nothing, the concept of nothing, which is an essential element of transformation. So here it is in a nutshell. The world has no meaning intrinsically. It doesn't. It doesn't provide the meaning from out there. All the meaning, everything that means something in your life is self-generated. And it's given to you by other people over the course of time and knowledge you acquire and you form opinions. And that's the meaning of what the world means. But we hold on to that as if it is the only reality, right? Reality is it's nothing.
What you create.
The world means nothing. You decide what it means. And so there's almost 8 billion people in the world. There's 8 billion realities or meanings about what life is. Like it's completely the wildest concept. You know what? I've seen people have the hardest time with this, like argue against this as hard as they can because they believe that this one thing in their life is true.
Yes.
It has meaning in and of itself. And it's just wild to see people walk through that conversation and get to the other side where they realize that life has no meaning except when you provide.
So all truth is truth, but all truth isn't yours or mine, right?
Right.
So your perception is not my reality, and it's okay.
Totally.
It's okay. You know, here's an example. Here's a cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I just got a couple cool examples just because I'm always trying to like relate it.
While you give these awesome examples.
So this is a really cool example. So just think about if you're at a party with 10 of your friends, right? And you're all mingling about the party. At the end of the night, you're going to talk about your party. You're not going to have the same experience, right? So it's 10 different experiences, 10 different realities, just an example.
Yeah.
And then I parallel it to the medical community, you know, even traditional medicine. You ask 10 different doctors how to treat a condition. They're going to give you 10 different answers based on their experience, their perception.
A lot of psychological studies that are done like that, Sherry, where they'll take one person, they'll say, okay, here's the story we want you to tell this next person. They'd tell that story, and then they'd have that second person tell the story to a third person. And they would do it, say, 10 times during the study. And they would have the story in the beginning and the story in the end, and they weren't even remotely related. Like they were completely different stories. So think about it. Human history, we write it down. It was originally handed down orally. None of it's really true, right? It's just stories that have changed over time. So why is this important? because when you finally understand that there's no meaning except for the one you generate, that you apply, you get to choose what things mean in the moment.
Yes. All right. I got a
That's
quick reading.
power.
This
Go.
is okay. So
Let's
this is
do it.
awesome. I love doing this. So this morning I do a quick little meditation. I've been reading from the Sophia Code. It's a really cool book, and I flipped through it. Okay. So I flipped through to this page, and it completely 100% matches to what you read. And this is what it says. I accept that I hold the golden keys to my bliss on earth. I accept that I create my reality by the power of my word.
Yes.
My word is good. My heart is pure.
Mhm.
By the loving power of my pure word, I wholly accept that it is safe for me to create my reality of bliss on earth. Boom.
Yes, yes. And that's exactly it. You choose. And then we get into this whole thing about language creates reality, because prior to language, there is no me and you. It's
Right.
just us, right? It's just
Yeah.
this thing. And then we acquire language, and that's when we start to say, oh, that's a Sherry, and this is a Mark, and that's a bird, and that's a rock. It's only with language, the common language, that we agree that's what generates the reality, right? So
Absolutely. And that's why I'm always saying, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like a little kid. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Because it's like I seek to understand someone's reality. Where are they coming from? You know, they could say, oh, I didn't have a good time. Well, what do you mean you didn't have a good time? Like, what is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like their interpretation, you know, the language, our ability to receive information and process it in a way from not only our perspective, but their perspective, right? It increases the intimacy and the dialogue.
Listen, communication is always the thing where it breaks down and trouble happens or things occur. But it's always because I have a reality that I believe, or a meaning in the situation, and you have a meaning. Until we can actually communicate and understand the meaning that each of us is applying to this situation, then we'll not get anywhere, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So good.
So good.
Good. Morning,
and then we're
everybody. Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So good to see you this morning. So guess what? The world has no meaning. It means nothing. That's
we're gonna
the gist of what we've talked about so far. So you get to choose today what meaning to apply to your life, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. And that's a part that's so cool about Mondays. What do? We talk about all this stuff, and now we're going to bring it all over to cannabis. So what is your relationship? What meaning do you give to cannabis?
Well, listen, that's where the stigma comes from.
Yeah.
A lot of people apply a meaning to cannabis that was given to them by somebody else, right? Given to them by the government. You know, here's the thing. Here's something that I saw I was actually watching a movie over the weekend, and I don't watch much TV, but I was watching a movie, and it talked about in 1937, which is the year that the Marijuana Tax Act was passed. Now, we say it over and over again. It was a racist move. It was all racially based, right? And people say, well, maybe not, possibly. But let me give you a little tidbit. The Senate at that time in 1937 passed this Marijuana Tax Act completely based on bullshit, politics, and racism. Absolutely, 100%. And here's one indicator. In 1937, that same Senate actually declined to pass a law making lynching a felony. Okay? You were free to lynch African Americans all you wanted. The Senate said, no, we can't pass this law in 1937, the same year they passed the Marijuana Tax Act. So that's what you were dealing with at the time. A white male Senate that said marijuana is bad and it's okay to hang black people.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how we got down that rabbit hole, but but
that's okay.
It really like blew my mind when I heard that they had this bill that was going to be passed, an anti-lynching bill, and the Senate didn't pass it in 1937. So
why we do what we do, right?
It's really a year of white racist people. So here we are today. Here's the
pissed, we're
conversation that
mad,
we're having.
right? We're mad not only about that, but also
Yeah.
what we didn't learn as clinicians. So just think about that. So you take
Yeah.
the government, the racism, all of this stuff,
Mhm.
it continues, it evolves time after time. And then here we are in nursing school. I've been a
Yeah.
nurse for a long time. Never
Mhm.
learned about the endocannabinoid system. It was never
Didn't
taught to
have the
me.
knowledge.
Oh my
Nobody
God.
had
And if
the knowledge, Sherry. I mean, it really was in the 1990s that it really was,
yeah.
starting to open up, and really we started to understand. And there's so much that's been done since then.
Hmm.
Now's the time, which is why we roll into these Mondays with the
Yeah.
NCS. Here we are. Where is it?
It's the
NCSBN, National
NCSB.
Council of
Yes.
State Boards of Nursing. So we talk about it every Monday, and we talk about an
Every Monday.
aspect that they have put out there in 2018 that said these are the things that nurses must know about
Yes,
the
absolutely.
endocannabinoids.
And they not only said about nurses, this is great. They
Mhm.
also said about advanced practice nurses and even
Yeah.
nursing students.
Mhm.
6 essential areas of knowledge. That's like really powerful because the Journal of Nursing Regulations was a 64-page document that they put out. And the NCSBN is what actually provides the exam for us to become nurses, for us to
Mhm.
actually get our licenses to practice nursing. So this is a big deal,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
Huge
Yeah.
deal.
So today there's 6 of them.
Mhm.
And today we're going to cover the third one. And the third one is the nurse shall have an understanding of the endocannabinoid system, cannabinoid receptors, cannabinoids, and interactions between them. So we're going to talk about cannabinoids. We talk about it all the time. Cannabinoids,
Yes.
cannabinoids, cannabinoids. Well, what is a cannabinoid, right? What
Right.
is the
Oh,
endocannabinoid system?
God, we could talk about it all day long. So,
Yes. So Mark, what's a cannabinoid?
oh my gosh, Sherry, a cannabinoid is a magical thing that makes you
It's
so
magical.
happy. And I'm happy today, so I'm going to sing about it. Now, a cannabinoid, it's a chemical compound that interacts with the human body, producing a measurable effect in body, mind, and emotions, such as relaxation, improved resilience to stress, neuroprotection, or analgesia, which is pain management. Now, there are 3 types, right, Sherry? What are they?
Well, here we go. We've got phytocannabinoids. So they're made by the plants, primarily cannabis. And for example, some of the phytocannabinoids are THC and CBD.
Mhm.
And then we have endocannabinoids, and they are the cannabinoids that we make that
Mhm.
look like and identify and act like the phytocannabinoids. So for example, anandamide and 2-AG are endocannabinoids. And then the last one is synthetic cannabinoids. So these are the human man-made cannabinoids that are made like pharmaceuticals.
Mhm.
Right. So 3, we got phyto, endo, synthetic.
And isn't
And
that wild? That's what first started down this pathway. We found these phytocannabinoids. I mean, CBD was in the 1940s, THC in the early 60s. So we knew that cannabis had cannabinoids, and we're trying to figure out how does it work in the body. And then they isolated cannabinoid and endocannabinoid in the body. And they said, well, okay, so we're making these. So where are they interacting? And that's when they started to discover these receptors in our bodies. And that's when the whole thing blew open. And all of a sudden we have an endocannabinoid system, the largest neurotransmitting system in your body. And it's just amazing. One day we don't know, and the next day we know a little bit, and we keep on moving. So
keep on moving. So
so receptor sites.
Let's go over the umbrella really quickly, and then we can talk about, I think, because the receptor sites are on the umbrella. So for the new people that are watching, I never learned about this in school. It was very abstract to me. I'm like, I don't get it. How can this make sense? And so I really wanted to be able to teach patients and even my own children and family that were anti-cannabis. So anyways, I thought of a concept of the human body being the umbrella, right?
Yes.
So I don't know what side it's on, the umbrella somewhere. But anyways, so the umbrella, just imagine the umbrella is you.
Mhm.
All of the spokes of the umbrella are your different organ systems.
Sherry.
You are that beautiful umbrella, and you have different organ systems. There's 11 of them in our immune system. And basically it makes up the umbrella. So we have that image because we want to show the interconnectedness of our entire body. So the little fabric pieces are the neurotransmitter signaling systems that we have in our body. For example, serotonin, opioid, dopamine, and there's a ton of other ones. So those fabric pieces that attach to the spokes of the umbrella give the messages to tell our body systems to either do something or stop doing something. So then you go to the very tippy top of the umbrella. That's the endocannabinoid system that blankets on top of your entire umbrella. This is just the coolest concept. It's the master system. That's why it's on the top and it blankets on top. So we have receptors. So cannabinoid receptors that can use the plant, the endo, and the synthetic cannabinoids on all of these spokes of the umbrella. And we have cannabinoid receptors on all of the little fabric pieces that attach to the spokes of the umbrella. So this is really like a cool, intricate system, right?
And you know, Sherry, that's because of the beauty of the endocannabinoid system, right? That's why cannabis is utilized in so many different areas of health in the body, right? We talked about them earlier: analgesia, neuroprotection, sleep, all of these different areas within the body. Isn't it magical that this one plant can actually
can do all of that?
Those things. It's not like you take this pill for this problem. It's not pharmaceutical medicine, which is where practitioners get sideways, you know, because if they're used to prescribing pharmaceuticals, it's you take this pill for this very specific thing. We're not quite sure what it does. We know that it does have a positive effect.
So exactly. So here's
about pharmaceuticals.
It is.
Sometimes we're not really sure how they work. We just know that they do, and that they don't kill you. Maybe long term they do, but
maybe long
anyway.
term. So anyway, so to think about it, it's
amazing that phytocannabinoids and cannabinoids in general can affect all of these different areas within your body all at once.
The same time. So so this I kind of didn't get that at first until the on-off switch. So just go back to the tippy top of your umbrella, right? So we produce cannabinoids upon demand to shower on top of our umbrella. It's an on-off switch. Think of all the spokes of your umbrella, different organ systems that are going on and off, on and off. I need this done. I need this done. I need this done. Well, guess what? We produce components that are similar to the plant. And if we don't make enough of our own, what happens? We don't get showered on.
Yeah, we don't get showered on, right? You're absolutely right. So, and I think that's one thing that I found super interesting, is that our body makes them, as you said, on demand. Like the other neurotransmitters, the cannabinoids are like a neurotransmitter, right? They regulate the release of all the other neurotransmitters that keep us happy and safe and comfortable. What I found really super interesting was that we do make them on demand, and then they get degraded and flushed, right? All the other neurotransmitters are stored in little sacs called vesicles, right? So serotonin and dopamine, they're all stored in little vesicles waiting to be used. And the endocannabinoids, they get in there, and they unlock it, and they either inhibit it or unlock them, and they're released, and then they're taken back in and stored again. So it's completely different. I thought that was fascinating. Anyway, I get so sideways. I just love the biochemistry.
Me too. And so it's so cool too. So this is the part that's so cool too. I like to take it like a step further. So just think of this: plant can communicate with our body because we make things just like it, right? The plant makes THC, we make anandamide, and the molecular structures, looks the same, very similar, and it plugs in, unlocks the door. So on-off switch phytocannabinoids, plant cannabinoids to come in to mimic our endocannabinoids that we're probably not making enough of if our umbrella is not going up and down nicely, right? So the goal is to nourish and stimulate our own system to start creating its own internal cannabinoids to shower on. And if we don't make enough, we need to supplement. And not only do we need to supplement with the plant, but we also need to supplement with health and wellness activities.
Yes. All of the things.
All of the things
for a happy, healthy human being. Yes.
So basically, we talked about plant cannabinoids. So think about this. There's over 120 of them in both the cannabis.
New ones being
we know about.
all the time.
right? And so the two most abundant that we talk about is THC and CBD. But what we're going to start to do over the next course of the week, because this is one of the NCSBN guidelines, is to talk about cannabinoids. We're going to start to dive into the other plant phytocannabinoids such as CBG, CBN, CBC, CBDA, CBGA, THCA,
Oh,
THCV.
we have so many to talk about, Sherry.
We do.
So many.
Yeah. So this has been a magical Monday, motivational Monday. And I just want to give a big shout out to Joe at Dubtech Productions.
Big Joe, where is he?
Prohibition. I can't see the card, but yeah. So we're streaming live here, right in the weeds.
Dubtech Studios.
Dubtech Studios, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on this week?
Oh my gosh! Of course, we have our daily dose of AFA at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. And thank you all for joining us today, Tara. Absolutely, would love to have you over at the Green Nurses. Thanks for being here, guys. I mean, you make this what it is. I mean, Sherry and I would still do it, honestly, if nobody was watching.
It's fun.
It'd be awfully sad. We'd be sad. We wouldn't be as upbeat because, you know, you bring in that energy, that love, that joy. Thank you for being a part of this. So we have
often too, you know, the daily dose, and the, you know, part of it too is why we do what we do is because it's words that we need to hear. So if we can't get these words of affirmation outside of ourselves, well, guess what? We can give it to ourselves. Right? The self-love, the daily word, you know, a big reminder that there is no one more important than you. You all are absolutely fucking amazing, exactly as you are.
This is your life. Think about it. You know, sometimes I sit back. You know, I really probably should have been a philosopher because I just love philosophy. You know, I sit back and I think about all of what is life all about. And then I get the absurdity that we're here for such a short time, like, you know, 80 years on average, right? What's the average? 78 years or whatever it is. That's a really short time. I know wherever you think you are right now, you think you get a lot of time. We just don't know. So when I say at the end of the daily love, you know, this is the only day we have. I am legitimately telling you, this is the one. I don't know about you, but I've had friends that went to work on a Monday morning and didn't come home on Monday afternoon. Like that, I've been blessed with so many friends. When you're blessed with that many friends, life happens to a lot of people, right? To all of us. And so today is the only day that we really have. So let's make it the best Monday, March 22nd, 2021 that we can ever have. So remember,
I agree.
Means nothing until you make it mean
something.
Make
meaning. Exactly.
Really awesome. Like
really awesome. Totally awesome.
Yeah.
And, all right. So for the rest of the week,
got going on.
Rest of the week, we're going to talk. So we have our daily shows Monday morning, daily dose of AFA. Tomorrow night, we actually have for nurses or people that are already certified in Reiki 1 and 2. We have a Reiki refresher course that's being done by Patty Narposa. And she's she's an energy healer. So we are, if you look at the events page, there's a link there. So you have to already be a Reiki practitioner. She's just doing a refresher course to introduce. Yeah, just to brush up because, you know, we're all about
I've always had it on my list. Really, seriously, for the last 20 years anyway, I've had being Reiki certified on my list of things that I would like to do because I've experienced Reiki. It was part of a modality that I used for depression and mood related issues. And, you know, Reiki was one of the things that I tried and I thought it was amazing. So really, if you are a Reiki practitioner and you want to get a brush up, join us tomorrow night with Patty. She's amazing.
Patty, she's great. Absolutely. Then we have Terpene Tuesday with Weeds Prohibition Talk Radio, where we bring you a terpene of the day and we talk about the medicinal and therapeutic effects of that. That's tomorrow. Wednesday, we have our morning show and our night show, but we also have our 4:20 to 6:20 in the Weeds, and it's going to be a really great guest on. We're giving away a couple books, which will be great. And then we have on Friday, we have our energy healing session with Healy. So bringing hugs and nugs and high vibes, right, for a Friday.
Yeah. So we got a lot going on.
A lot going on this week.
Lots of new announcements coming up. Oh yeah, we got stuff happening.
Lots of new announcements. Well, Well,
Yeah.
that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here
Yep.
in Vermont. Really exciting stuff going on.
Mhm.
We're shooting a couple new shows.
Yep.
Green Nurse on the Grow, because I'm a little clueless, but guess what? I am open to learning. And the learning opportunities that are there are just amazing because you're learning from people that are in the community that actually do this
Sherry.
all
You
the time.
you just you touched on something, you just brushed right by it as if it was nothing, and that's something that's so powerful if you can get this into your life and you do it, you just said it. It's that if you can say, "I don't know," man, life opens up because as soon as you say, "I don't know," there's a possibility for learning something new. When you say, "I
Yes.
know," and you're stuck in that, nothing will ever change with whatever it is you're looking at. But if you can say, "I don't know,"
Because I tell you, then it starts the adventure because guess what?
yes,
I want to know.
of course. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there was a term called, I think it's Shoshan, and it means to encounter the world with the wide-eyed wonder of a child. Like, think about it. When you're a kid, you wake up, you don't know what you're going to do during the day, but you're
I
excited
know.
for the adventure. You don't know what's going
Adventure.
to happen. You're going to maybe find out something new. If you can cultivate that and go through life like that, amen, sister. Woo.
Yes.
All right.
Amen. And then one other one, and then we'll wrap it up. So
Yep.
one other one, which I think is great too, that Joe and I are doing. Joe's Dub Tech Productions at In the Weeds
Mhm.
Prohibition Talk Radio. He's producer, and he's creating, I'm participating in
Mhm.
the Different Views Review. And we started
Yeah.
shooting, and it was really, really fun because
Mhm.
just the different perspectives, just like we talked about, our different
Mhm.
experiences, coming from grassroots cannabis caregiver, to
Mhm.
newbie nurse, but willing to learn. So it's really cool to have these discussions, and we're going to bring them to you, sharing information on all things cannabis and what he thinks and what I think. And is it good for recreational? Is it good for medical? And is there any crossover? So this has been really fun. We're on the adventure. We're being bold. We're being brave.
An
We're being
AFA day.
loving, and we're being powerful. And above
Yes.
all else, be kind. Be
Yes.
kind. Be
Yes.
kind to yourself.
I don't know about you, but I am having an AFA day already. And I'm just going
Me
to let
too.
it continue to roll out because, Sherry, I don't know. And it's okay.
It's
And
okay.
what's it
What's it all
all
about?
about, Sherry?
It's about living your best life and helping others do the same. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. All right. See you tomorrow morning.